In other news now, well, the race for the ANC's top job seems to be on, and it appears that the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, might have some work to do if he's to secure a second term. ANC presidential hopeful Lindiwe Sisulu seems to have launched her first salvo in her campaign with an attack on the constitution, which obviously has garnered some censoring from many in the party, including an indirect criticism from Ramaphosa in today's presidential newsletter. Well, let's discuss all of this now with John Matisonn. He's, of course, the author of Cyril's Choices. John, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. Cyril's Choices, you wrote that. Does he have much choice now except to really maybe ramp up his campaign if he wants to get a second term?
Well, you know, he has a lot of assets, Cyril Ramaphosa, not least of which is that the ANC is broke without support. So he's got a lot of cards. He's also personally much better respected than the rest of the parties. I mean, the fact is, even some of his enemies in the party realize that they need him as leader. They may want to weaken him, but they need him as leader if they're going to win in 2024. So he's got a lot of assets, but he's going to have to use all of them.
Now, does he want another term? Is that the sense? I mean, what do we have to look for to say whether or not he wants? I'm asking this against this very small observation. When he was in Limpopo last week, the week before, ahead of the January 8th celebrations of the 110th anniversary, at some point he addressed the youth when he delivered the Peter Mukaba lecture. And there were shouts from among the young people there that Ramaphosa second term, Ramaphosa second term. And he was smiling and he never responded anyhow. I mean, does he want a second term?
Yes, Dan, it's part of the game of politics that you say no, 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 and then eventually you say, oh, all right then.
Now, Lindiwe Sisulu's recent opinions, which were very direct about the constitution and some of the misgivings in her views and calling people all sorts of names, have created a lot of debate and stuff. But one would have expected maybe Ramaphosa to refer to her directly in his presidential newsletter today, but he did not. I mean, is that a tactic that will work in his favor or not? What do you think, John?
You know, it's one of the rules of politics in South Africa, but also in a lot of other places. There's no sense for him attacking a member of his own cabinet, but he's certainly sending a signal that he's not happy with her. And but I think, look, President Ramaphosa has a battle on his hands to win in December. But I think he's got, I think she may have mishandled this, and that she may have, I mean, if she is the best, the Zuma faction, the opposition to Cyril Ramaphosa has, and these two letters she sent out attacking the Constitution are her best arguments. I think it might work to Ramaphosa's advantage because she didn't handle it very well, and it's so obviously a rejection of what she's done her whole career and what her whole family, her parents and her brothers have done their whole lives, is to fight for the Constitution. I mean, she used to say the ANC was the Constitution was the ANC's great achievement. Now she says it's a neoliberal document. I don't think it's a very credible position, and I don't think she's defending it very effectively.
Yeah, it's still early days, of course, but I mean, December is not far away. Strategies and tactics might change of the various people who might want to raise their hands. Could Didi be the dark horse? Remember what he did at Nasrec and suddenly becoming Mr. Unity, and on that ticket he then became the deputy president?
Look, Dan, anything is possible. You know, this is such a fluid situation. Many things could change. But my bet would be that the deputy president has also shrewdly understood that why did he cross over to back Ramaphosa in the first place? Because he understood that the ANC, to win and for them all to have the jobs they want and the patronage they have, they need a leader who can win the majority. And President Ramaphosa has that ability. And I think the DP may well be aware, I would bet that he's aware that he doesn't have the kind of support on the national basis that Ramaphosa does. So it makes sense for him to stay on the inside, keep his position and bide his time.
You know, John, as you were talking there, I'm thinking about the DD. I'm thinking that the ANC, for the first time in its 110th history, effectively does not have a sitting Secretary General. Ace Magashule has been suspended. He's facing a court case. Jessie Duarte remains Deputy Secretary General, and she's been very clear, telling us, the media, I am not the acting Secretary General, I'm the Deputy Secretary General. Could somebody like a DD gun for that position? Because it's a very big, important role. It's the engine room of the party organizationally.
You mean could the DP stand down as DP and becomes SG?
Yes.
Well, I know it's being speculated upon. It's a possibility, but I'm not. But you know, the DP is always historically been best placed to become the next president. So I'm not sure how keen he might be to give that up, because that puts you in pole position for whatever you want next time round.
So we should be anticipating a three-way race, or if not more. Yeah, the deputy president trying to go for the top spot, Lindiwe Sisulu. I mean, she did try at Nasrec and then pulled back in support, we understood at the time, for the Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma ticket against Cyril Ramaphosa's ticket. So she might be going for that, from what we heard, presidency. And then there's, of course, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, who might want a second term.
I think that my betting would be that President Ramaphosa wants a second term. He's going to go for it vigorously. Within the ANC's traditions, it makes sense for him not to declare himself too early. You don't want to peak too early. It's quite. You want to seem like you don't want it, that you're only responding to the call of the people. So I'm pretty clear in my mind that he's going to go for it. Lindiwe Sisulu is clearly putting it out that she wants to go for it, and if she still sees a path to go for it by December, she will. The DP, I'm less sure about. You know, it's not a terrible position to be the deputy president of South Africa and of the ANC for another 5 years.
Yeah, just another thought. I mean, if you look at the provincial representation and support bases or constituencies, KwaZulu-Natal, I mean, they're very important support base in terms of branches and all of that. Very big size in terms of numbers there as well. I wonder if they would back Cyril, or they would want to see change.
Well, look, the RET faction, the faction of representing President Zuma, they're going to have a strong constituency in KwaZulu-Natal especially, and in a few other places to replace Ramaphosa. They don't like Ramaphosa. But whether they can get it over the line, I mean, that's obviously the big question. It's very hard to answer now. But I'm still betting that Ramaphosa will make it. And also the KwaZulu-Natal faction, or to the degree there's a faction there behind replacing Ramaphosa, they haven't really found a strong flag bearer. If Sisulu is this flag bearer, we'll see. She's got to be tested now. She doesn't seem to have handled it so well up to now. Maybe she'll improve. Maybe she'll win greater support. But I just didn't see her as an effective candidate. And right now, she looks like the best the RET faction have to offer. But obviously, if she falls along the way, we'll see another one come up.
I mean, what about the noises around the young Duduzane Zuma?
Yes, but you know, that's not the way the ANC works. I can't see him really being a serious candidate. I'm sure his father would love to see it happen, but I just don't see that young Mr. Zuma has the kind of backing throughout the country among senior people that he would need to be a serious contender.
Thank you very much for your insights and time as usual. That's author there, John Matisonn. He wrote Cyril's Choices, just giving us some of his insights and views ahead of the ANC's National Elective Conference come December 2022.